Right, what is life like within psychiatric hospitals? A video by Connor500. Absolute pleasure to have you here, whether you're a regular to the channel or whether you're someone who's typed in about psychiatric hospitals on YouTube and you found this video. This is a completely unscripted video that I fancied doing. It is currently 4:30 in the morning. Thank you very much for coming along. I have been in hospitals 8 times altogether now. I don't know a lot about hospital diagnosis stuff. Apparently I'm diagnosed with schizoaffective. Who knows? I mean, yeah, it is what it is. This video isn't going to be about my psychosis. This video is going to be about psychiatric hospitals themselves. Let me just chill out with this video. Yeah, I got a nice card there delivered. That's my table there. Yeah, this video isn't going to be about my stuff, but my hospital experience. I had three hospital admissions as a child. I say a child, I was more 16, 17, so they were in the children's wards. I then had one in 2018. I came back out, went to work, and then I had another one in 2020, the worst one. Then I had a sort of mini one in 2021, don't really count. I definitely had one in 2022, which was quite bad, 2023, which was bad, and now 2024, which was pretty bad as well. I'm going to talk about my experiences within the hospitals. So if you're regular to this channel, this is definitely not something you want to watch. But if you've just typed it in, maybe you're someone who's just, let me chill out with this video. Maybe you're someone who's just gone into hospital themselves and you want something to watch. And I want to post this on my main channel, even though it's very different to what it normally is. Let me just have some of my vape. I know I shouldn't be vaping, but this could be a long video. I'm currently in an NHS ward, a pretty good one, a really good one. I'm in a place called Bristol in England, and this is where my last 3 hospital admissions have been, and it's been very, very good here. So I'm just going to talk a bit about how a day on the ward is. It's currently 4:30, which means it's the night shift, and the night shift will go on until 7:30, at which point the day shift begins. They put the breakfast out here at 6 o'clock. Now this is going to vary per hospitals, and I'm going to talk about, let me hold the phone normally. Okay. So in this hospital, they put the breakfast out at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it varies of toast and things like that, and you can pick. It's okay. I'll explain a better. I've been in a much better hospital than this before. How can I hold this camera without? Let me just hold it like that. So they put the breakfast out at 6, and then generally you can do what you want until 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock is when you can start going outside. You can start going out for cigarettes, or you can go to Tesco and things like that. Basically, when you first get to hospital, you get something called escorted leave. So you can go out escorted, and you work your way up to unescorted, and then you go out unescorted. Is what it says on the tin. And then you can work your way up to things like unescorted leave and things like that. I'm currently on unescorted, which I earned a couple of days ago. I've been in hospital on this occasion for 5 weeks. You are allowed your phone in hospital unless you're on a restrictive phone plan, which was the case for me until a few days ago, and now I'm unrestricted and now making a long video. But if you've just come into hospital yourself, this video could be good for you. So anyway, so until then about 8, 9 o'clock, and you're generally left to do what you want during the day, but there are OT, occupational therapy things, and they're going to vary. Maybe they're games, maybe it's like food in the common rooms and stuff like that, and you've generally got those throughout the day. Most of the time you are left to your own devices here, really. I think it's because there's 8 staff per day, which is already a lot for there's 18 people on this ward. It's supposed to be 22, but it's 18. Um, so there's 8 staff and they're doing a lot because we're constantly asking them questions. So anyway, so you have breakfast, 6 o'clock the breakfast trolley comes out until about 8, 9. Then you have lunch, which is at 12:30, which is pretty good here. Bristol's pretty good for lunch. I'm going to explain about the bad ones later, not in Bristol. So lunch comes out at 12:30, and then you have dinner at 6:30 and supper at 8:30. So you got breakfast, then you got lunch at 12:30. You got dinner at 6:30, which is hot, and then you got supper, which is sandwiches and stuff like that at 8:30. But you can always ask for toast and things like that. Let me just, I wish I had somewhere to hold this phone. Then I put this phone up here, 1 second. Wow, look at that. Can we do that? Let's do that. So yeah, so you've got those, that's what you've got going on. Let me just chill out on this, okay. And what else can I explain about this hospital? There's some things that annoy me. Let me just say one thing that annoys me in the hospital is people play music on their phones and they play them out loud. And it's not that it annoys me as such. And if you're a person that plays music on your phone loudly, it perplexes me. It perplexes me in the sense of I would feel so self-aware that if I wanted to play my music, that I would all of a sudden think, oh, everybody else should be forced to listen to this music as well. Do you know what I mean? It's the thought pattern of, I want to listen to my music, I'm now going to make everybody listen to the music. Do you understand? And if you're a person that does this, you know, I'm not having a go at you or anything. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. So that's the daily routine of this hospital. I'm currently in an acute ward for cute people. Is this video going to be okay like this? Yeah, it is going to be okay. I've been also in something called a PQ ward. Okay, so have I explained everything about this hospital trip? Remember, I'm not going to talk about my psychosis or schizophrenia or schizoaffective or whatever the bloody hospital terms are. I'm not talking about this in this video for a variety of reasons. Have I explained everything? The staff are lovely. I would say generally, if you said to me, how do you feel about the staff in these places, I would say 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Patience, I would put an 8 out of 10, as in you're going to get 8 good uns and 2 wrong uns, to be honest. I think I've said everything about this hospital trip. I'm in Bristol, a place called Callington Road. My last hospital trip, I was also in this place for the last one. Okay, so now we're 2024, we're working backwards on this video. It's 2024, now we're going back to the 2023 one. I was in this same place, but I was in the PQ ward, which is the Psychiatric Intensive Care Unit, as opposed to, which is like one step up, one step more extreme than the acute ward, and that was restrictive. Let me tell you that was restrictive. Could you even? I couldn't even go out. There weren't even, some people could, but I couldn't even go out. And that was really restrictive, and the patients were a lot more troublesome. There was this massive guy who was just marching up and down, just singing and shouting all the time, and he would wake you up, and it was really bad. This was in 2023 now, so we're working backwards, remember. So this was, if you're a regular to this channel, you're going to be thinking, what on earth is going on in this video? But maybe you're someone who's just arrived in hospital yourself, you're scared, maybe it's your first time. You know, I'm an old hat at this. If you've got any questions, type them in the comments. If you're new to hospital and you've got any questions about, you know, hospital, just type them in the comments. You'll be right as rain, honestly. Oh, am I going to tell you this secret? I'll tell you this secret. All of the coffee and all of the tea in the hospital is decaf. So if you're drinking it and you're wondering why you're not getting your normal coffee experience, it's because it's decaf. You need to go buy your own. But I shouldn't really be telling you that. So last year, 2023, I was in the PQ unit, and that was so much more restrictive. And it had the same similar thing, the same breakfast times, the same lunch times, the same. What occupational therapy things? Remember, this video is completely unscripted, guys. So it just comes as it comes. What occupational therapy things would you be doing? I don't do them personally, to be honest with you. They're not for me. Not my cup of tea. I'd rather be sat on my own with a Guinness and a fat cigarette. I don't want to be doing art. I don't want to be doing music therapy. I don't want to be doing all that. But you might want to be. It might be your cup of tea. So you might have art therapy, you might have music therapy. Oh, they do have one good one, which is scones and coffee. What, scones or scones? How do you say it, scone or scone? They do have one good one. I do go to that, and then you can sit there and have your scones or your scones, and that's quite lovely jubbly. Also, they have nacho nights where you can have nachos and stuff like that. And that's your occupational therapy. And also they do gardening. That's a good one. I tell you what, I don't mind a bit of gardening. And as I'm getting older and older, I do like a bit of gardening, outdoor gardening. I do like a bit of that, a bit of planting, a bit of stuff like that. And that's really, there's not really much I can say about the 2023 visit that I haven't really covered in this one. I'm trying to think of anything that's worth me saying that I haven't said. Let me just chill out with this video because this is going to be an hour long. Is there anything else I want to say? The staff are good. And if you're in this deep on this video, you're probably going to be watching a long time anyway, so. No, I think that's everything I've got to say. So that's the 2 hospital visits at Callington Road, Bristol, which is a hospital. I would give them a 9 out of 10 altogether. That's my last 2 hospital trips. We're now going on to 2022 trip. The 2022 trip, the Priory. I went to the Priory, private hospital. I went to the Priory, and guys, that was a whole different kettle of fish. That was order what you want on the food. You got a menu, you got to choose. I was eating salmon every day. You'd have a fry up every single day if you wanted. Guys, the breakfast in the Priory, you got to choose between a fry up, a fruit salad, or you could have an omelette. It was a whole different kettle of fish. There was a piano in the ward. Guys, I'm not even joking. They had a piano in the ward, in the Priory. Oh guys, you get half-hour checks, so in a minute people are going to check me, and hopefully they don't think, why is he talking on his phone? But if they do come in and say, well, you know, I'll just say what I'm doing, because I'm not doing anything wrong. But the Priory was a whole different kettle of fish. The staff were very good, to be fair. I'm going to admit that. The staff at the Priory were really good. But the one difference was with the Priory was there was no Tesco out. Oh, this is pointless me saying this, but this is actually really pointless. I don't even know why I'm saying this. In this current hospital I'm in, there's a Tesco right outside, but in the Priory there wasn't. So that was the one worst thing. But the Priory was so much better, guys. The Priory was just a whole different kettle of fish. Also, it was a mixed ward. It was a mixed ward in the Priory, whereas what I'm currently in is a single-sex male ward. Overall, I've got no real preference, to be honest, between mixed wards or the single-sex. But if I had to pick gun to head, I would say I'd rather mixed, because it does add a nice. Yeah, okay, I'll be honest. I definitely would pick the mixed wards, because it's nice to have. And I'm not making this seedy in any way whatsoever. I'm really not. I'm a gentleman. I'm an honourable, chivalrous man. But it's nice to have that feminine touch. Not literal. I don't mean literal. I mean just a touch within the ward. Do you know what I mean? So the Priory was a mixed ward, and it was much better. And there was a lovely lady there called Louise and stuff like that. And yeah, who was really lovely, she was. And it's just nice to have that rather than just constant blokes batting heads against each other. The Priory was pretty similar. You had your breakfast time, you had your afternoon lunch time, you had your, you know, your dinner. But the Priory, you got a menu. You had a menu at the Priory. So that was the big difference, and you could pick off the menu as well. Like I said, there was a piano on the ward. So, so that's 2022. So we've had Priory 2022, we've had 2023 and 2024 at Caledon. The 2021 one, I don't really want to talk about because I don't really want to talk about that one. And I can't really even count that as a proper hospital. It wasn't sectioned on that one. So I don't want to talk about that one. It's not worth me talking about that one. But that one was run by a lovely, lovely lady. It was a really lovely lady who ran that, an elderly lady. Quite elderly, not elderly, that's the wrong word. Sorry about that, I'm not calling her elderly, but it's older. Okay. We're now going to 2020. This is now, okay, we've now, this wasn't in Bristol, this was in Slough. Now that was horrific. Everything I've told you so far about the staff being great and everything in Bristol, game changer in Slough. It was in Reading, sorry, I'm from Slough. So the 2020 visit was in a place called Reading, and it was horrific. Guys, it was like hell on earth in those hospitals. The Reading hospitals and the Bristol hospitals are worlds apart. They seriously are worlds apart. It was horrific. I'll just give you one example with the food. You would get basically no food because the staff were taking it home. The staff, what they would do before they put the food out, they would take what they wanted to take home and then just leave you what's left and then try and have a go at you. What we had to do, and this was not just me, this was multiple people, we would deliberately get the halal meals because we know it would come in a packet. Because you would get the halal meal in a packet, so you'd get a set amount of food because you had to do it, because it was either that or you wouldn't get enough food. It was horrific in the Slough ones. It was underground as well. Like here, I've got a lovely window. The Slough one was underground. It was just horrific. The medication was horrific. The doctors were horrific. The Slough one in 2020, that was probably the worst one of my life. It was definitely the worst one of my life, that 2021. And that's what stopped me being out of work. I'm not going to make this about, because I was a professional gambler for 7 years. This is not what this video is about, and I'm not going to. This video isn't about gambling. But that 2021, I came out, I started gambling again, and I managed to do it for I think 6 more months. But my head was already gone by that point. My head was gone. Yeah, I'm not going to make this about gambling, but I managed to do it for a little bit longer, but then it was gone. Oh, it was horrific. There was no breakfast one in the Slough one. There was no breakfast. You barely got any lunch, you barely got any... Oh, vapes, on the topic of vapes. You wasn't always allowed vapes. In the earlier times, you used to have the Nicorette things. You know what I'm talking about? You used to have them. So that's the Slough one. I don't really know what else I want to say about the Slough one other than it was horrific. The staff were horrific. The place was horrific. It was bad. That 2021 was bad. Although the Psychosis has been worse on this one. Was it? No, because it was just worse. The Slough one was worse all round. It was just absolutely horrific in that Slough one. I need to even take a second just to... It was bad. It was bad. And the Slough one was 2018 as well. That was bad as well. It was just a struggle for food. It was just an absolute fight for food, which you'd never have in these Bristol ones. These Bristol ones, if you want to eat, you eat. But in them Slough ones, it was a struggle for food because the staff were just taking it home for themselves. And obviously the staff logic was, oh, I can get free food from the hospital, and then I can, you know, sort of subsidise my own, because obviously they, you know, they needed the money as well from their point of view, but it was just a struggle for food. So those, so we've got, so that's okay. So that's 2018 and 2020 covered. The two Slough hospitals, 2018 and 2020 covered. We then had 2021, which we haven't spoke about. We've got 2022, which was the Priory, and then we've got 2023 and 2024, which was Bristol, Caledon Road. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about the Slough one. The Slough one I was in, what was it called again? Prospect Park. It was Prospect Park, Reading. It was just horrific. It was just horrific. And to be honest with you, I just want to say shame on you to the people that are running those hospitals in that hospital at Prospect Park. Shame on you to the person running that. Because you are obviously an evil person for running a hospital like that. Because you need to learn from Bristol. Because Bristol's NHS as well. Bristol's NHS as well. I'm not saying learn from the Priory, because it's a completely different budget. But Slough need to get some Bristol people in to show them how to operate. This video isn't going to be as long as I thought, to be honest, because is there anything else I want to say? Because I've no doubt forgotten a million things. If I think of anything overly important I want to write, I'm going to put it in the description. So have a look in the description. Maybe I've wrote some extra stuff that I forgot. Because this is an unscripted video. This is how I do the videos. I don't write anything down. I didn't even know I was going to do this video until 2 minutes before I started doing the video. And okay, so let me just say this. I had a massive gap. From when I was about 16, 17, I had a big gap until 2018 when I was, how old would I have been then? Oh yeah, let me just say this one thing. When I came out in 2018, I was pretty much able to, I was fine working again. And I'm not making this about work, but when I came out in 2018, I took a job for a friend of a friend. Anyone on the channel will know about this, so I don't need to go into it. But that's why I took that job. So those two, when I basically become the head, I joined as a trader in a small independent bookmaker. Not to go into it, but I joined as a trader, quickly become head trader because of how good I was. But I got that through a friend of a friend because I'd just come out of hospital. And that's what sort of brought me. I was after 2018, I was easily able to get back into the game. It was the 2020 that destroyed me. That was the one that just destroyed my ability to work. But 2018, my ability to work was pretty much fine. But we had a massive gap from, how old would I? What is it? I'm sure it is 2009. It was when that JLS song came out. It was that, let's just get back together. We should have never broke up. I'm telling you that my heart. That song was out when I was in the hospital the third time as a child. What year would that have been? It was, and Michael Jackson had died. What year would, well, I can hear the staff coming to do their checks. Let's let them do their checks every half an hour. Well, oh yeah. You get 15-minute checks and then you get half an hour checks. So it starts off, you get 15-minute checks, then you get half-hour checks. I don't think it ever gets to the point where they don't check you at all. But yeah. If you're a regular to this channel, this is going to be a rubbish video. But if you've just turned up in a hospital, maybe it's going to be comforting, or, you know, who knows. Let me just say that again. If you are new to a hospital and you've just turned up in your first time in a psychiatric hospital, get yourself in the comments, type something down. I'll be there. Trust me, I'm an old hat at this. I know what I'm doing. I'll message you back and I'll be there with you throughout the whole of your thing. Even don't worry about thinking about annoying me. Message me 100 times if you want, especially if you've got psychosis and stuff like that. Drop me a message, or especially if you've got anything, you know, I can help you. Well, you know, I can try my best. Where was I? So yeah, Have I said everything about the... Like I said, I'm going to write things in the description if I remember. Okay, right, so then, so what year would that have been when I was 17? I should know what year that was when I was 17. It would have been 2009. Yeah, of course it was 2009. Sorry, I'm still in hospital at the minute, my head's not with it. 2009, Oxford. It was, what was it called, the hospital? I was in Oxford Hospital for 3 times as a child. What was it called? Hang on, the staff are coming to do their checks. It was an Oxford hospital. I was there 3 times as a child. But that was, what can I even really say about that I haven't said? I can't really even think of, it was very different as a child ward, but really not that different. It was a mixed ward as well. I was at that age running off with I was caught in the girls' wards too many times in that Oxford one at 16, 17, a little scamp, which I wouldn't do now because I shouldn't have even just said what I just said, but I'm an honourable, chivalrous gentleman now. But yeah, and I was back then as well. I was back then. Yeah, so the children's ward, yeah, it was just the same as this really, but also, you know, it's different because it was children and stuff like that. And there was a couple of things I thought I was going to say on this video, but I'm not. I haven't really got much to say about the children's ward, so I'm going to sort of end this video here. I think I've said everything I've got to say, and I don't want to talk about my psychosis experience because for a number of reasons. I'm happy to talk to you about hospital experiences, but I don't really want to talk about the psychosis itself. What I will say is this: I hear voices. Okay, so say this on a psychosis level 1 to 10. I hear voices even at a 2 or a 3 out of 10. So even it's at a 2 out of 10. Okay, let's clarify this. 1 out of 10 psychosis, I'm never there. That's too low. I'm always a bit higher than that. 2 out of 10 psychosis, I'm getting sort of like it's like just a repetitive voice. It's an annoying one. It's just sort of. Oh, and I said, please don't judge me for using this word because I know this is going to be difficult. It's like a Tourette's voice. It's just like a Tourette's voice. A 2 and a 3 out of 10. Hang on, being checked. All okay? Yeah, that was a check, half-hour check. A 2, 3 out of 10 is like a Tourette's voice. A 4, 5 out of 10, it starts becoming like a storyline, like I'm learning things, like a 4 or 5 out of 10. If it's like a 5, 6 out of 10, the cat's talking to me. The cat is telling me things. At this point, out of 5, 6 out of 10, I'm starting to learn things from the cat. If it's a 7, 8 out of 10, okay, here's when you start seeing things. You'll start seeing things at 6, 7, 8, a 7, 8 out of 10. You're going to start seeing scary things, and you're going to start getting shocks. And then at 9 out of 10, what's a 9 out of 10? A 9 out of 10 is your family members are now spinning around into various people. So you'll just see your family members in other. You'll see dead people, people that you know have died. You'll start vividly seeing their faces in strangers. And you're walking a 9 out of 10, you're walking the streets, and your family members and dead people and you're talking to them, obviously, because you're your family member, and it's people that you know that have died. It's not like the film I See Dead People. It's not like that. It's much nicer than that in a way, because it's not, you know, they're not being horrible. They're just them. So you're talking to a 9 out of 10. You're talking to strangers in the street. But then they don't appear to be strangers to you, they appear to be your family. But yeah, it's horrific, honestly. Psychosis, oh, hell of a drug. 10 out of 10, you just blacked out. 10 out of 10, you're blacked out. You can't remember 3 weeks. I didn't 10 out of 10 on this occasion. I've 10 out of 10 on the last 2 occasions before this, but just blacked out for 2 weeks at a time. Yeah, you sort of black out and then you come back around, and the first thing you always remember is, in my experience, you'll be sat with a staff member and they'll just be counting with you. They'll be going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just counting and you're doing the ABCs. It's cool. It's traumatic. This is a traumatic thing. So like I said, if you're watching this and you're watching this with psychosis in a hospital, yeah, I think I've said everything I've got to say. I'm going to write everything else out in the description. If you're a regular to this channel, if you're thinking, why is Connor posting this video? Why is Connor posting this video on his horse racing channel? Well, guys, it is what it is, I'm afraid. And if you're in the if you're interested in this, if you're interested in hospital stuff, type in the comments, let me know. If you're new to a hospital, definitely get yourself in the comments. Have I said everything I want to say? Let me have a good think in this last minute. Let me have a good think. Sorry for it. There's a bottle of Coke there behind me, which I didn't drink. I didn't drink any I only drank decaf, and I only drank like soft drinks for about a month, and then I had one of them Cokes, and oh my word, it's like a drug. Same for real coffee. It's like if you haven't had real coffee for a month, it's like a drug. Is there anything else I want to say? Not much. I'm Connor. I'm 32 years old. I'm about to be 33 in June. I have a lovely daughter who I love very much, and it has been a struggle to see her. It's been a real struggle. I just want to end the video on that, on how much I really, really love my daughter, and how much of this. Yeah, I'm actually not going to talk about that because that's going to make me upset, and that's going to ruin the video. But I just want to dedicate my whole life to my daughter. Shouldn't have finished on that, actually, sorry, because that's actually maybe I shouldn't have done that, because I've just changed the tone of the video there. Let me just change that back. Shouldn't have done that. Wish I hadn't done that now. Wish I hadn't done that, because I've just changed it. I've just changed it from a pretty cool video to an upsetting one. Is that everything I want to say? If you've got any questions about hospitals, let me know. Let me just think of anything else I want to say. The cleaning, they got to do your cleaning every day in the room. The cleaners are lovely. The cleaners are really lovely. Everyone's, oh yeah, so you get healthcare assistants, you get nurses, and you get doctors. So you get your healthcare assistants, they're the ones who sort of pop. What do the healthcare assistants do? They do things called observation, so they go around observing. This happens in all hospitals. They do environment, which means they check all the doors and stuff like that. They check the doors to make sure they're all locked, and they do the garden, because you get in Bristol ones you get a garden. In the Bristol and in the Priory, you got a courtyard. You got a courtyard in the Priory, but in the Bristol ones you get a garden, and in the Slough one there was none. So there was nothing. It was underground. There's by Slough I mean Reading, Prospect Park. I just want to say that Prospect Park, shame on you. Shame on you, the people who are running Prospect Park. I think that's definitely everything I want to say. I thought this video was going to be about 2 hours long, but it's not. Guys, I'm going to type anything I forget in the description, but I probably don't think I've really forgotten anything. If you're watching this video from the channel, then it is what it is. I've decided to post it. What you gonna do? If you're interested in hospital stuff, get in the comments, ask any questions. Just ask me any questions. And most importantly, if you're now in hospital yourself, if you've just joined hospital yourself, definitely get yourself in the comments. I'm there for you, particularly if it's for psychosis, schizophrenia, whatever. I'm definitely your man. I'm not your man, because I'm one of you. It's the blind leading the blind, isn't it? But I can just type away to me. You might feel on your own. I'm going to leave this video. Have I got anything else I want to say? Oh yeah, well, I'm currently on a section. Let me finish off on this. There's 2 main types of section, guys. There's two main types of section. There's other ones, but they're more complicated. The two main types of sections are, you get section 2, which is 28 days, up to 28 days. So you're on section 2, you're up to 28 days. That's how long they're going to keep you. Or there's section 3, which is 6 months or longer. So yes, you got section 2 where they can only keep you up to 28 days, or there's section 3 where they can keep you up to 6 months and they can just keep doing it over and over again. I'm currently on a section 3, but I should be going home within 3 weeks, as long as I don't go mental, as long as I don't go mad. Guys, I'm leaving this video here. Is there anything else I want to say? No, nothing else I want to say. So let's sum it up. The children's ward, they were all right. You know, that was a long time ago. There'll be other people that can explain that better than me, but I spent 3 times there. You then had the Slough Reading wards, which were like hell on earth, horrific. You had the Priory, which was, that was something else. That was top of the tree, that was. And then you have Bristol, which is, I think, the best you're going to get out of the NHS stuff. I'm leaving it at that. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm about to post this on the channel. People are going to think, what on earth is he posting? Guys, take care of yourself, look after yourself. Connor 500, over and out. See you later, guys. Lovely jubbly. Done though. I'll see you later. Cheers.